Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I hope you're doing great in Jesus. This is one of my favorite authors. I've read Pontius Pilate by him and some things on Jesus by him. Josephus, he has done this phenomenal thing on Josephus where he takes the works of Josephus and kind of retranslates them and abridges them, and they're fantastic. So this is The First Christians, Pentecost and the Spread of Christianity in Word and Pictures by Paul Maier. They're professor of history at Western Michigan, or at least was for quite a long time. I'm not sure if he is still there. So I've got a place marked. Let's see why I have this place marked here in this particular book. Traditional site of the house of Simon the Tanner at Joppa. Okay, that's what it was. The Roman governor of Palestine had only 3,000 troops, which to keep order in the land, 5 cohorts of 600 men each. And these soldiers were not of Roman stock, but auxiliary forces conscripted locally. Ordinarily, Jews might have served in such units, but they were exempted from military service because of their dietary restrictions. The Roman army moved on pork. And that could go into like them raising the swine that the demons went into, Legion went into there in the Holy Land. So you could have had some connection with feeding the Romans. But see, just in that little paragraph, and I hadn't even finished the paragraph, we've already learned that there were 3,000 soldiers in all of Israel. They were in 5 cohorts of 600 each. Jews were exempted. Normally they were from the local population, but since the Jews couldn't eat pork, that's the type of information Paul Maier brings to the table all the time. This is just an amazing thing. I was looking to see if there's, but it's just retelling Peter and Dorcas at that moment. The traditional site of the stoning of Stephen below the northeastern corner of the walls of Jerusalem. An oratory commemorating his martyrdom is to the left with Stephen's name in Greek lettering along its wall. And so he's just one of, and you can watch him, I've watched him on YouTube as well. He's just one of the best historians out there, one of the best apologists out there. So I was excited when I got this book, really cheap, off of eBay, thrift books, The First Christians, and the Spread of Christianity, because it's just, you're going to be filled with all types of history. Let me just read this to you. Okay, this is page 73. The experiences of primitive Christianity, however, can easily be over-idealized. The first Pentecost was not followed by one prolonged glory story. Besides the spectacular extension of the church, Acts very honestly, very realistically, also records the instances of smallness and inconsistency among the apostles, the squabbles between the missionaries, the dishonesty and economic jealousies of some early church members, and inevitably the theological controversies that could rage in the church then as now. All was hardly sweetness and light. See, that's just good stuff too. Paul's missionary journeys, fantastic. Probably the best I've ever seen on that, besides one by Gregory, A Thing of Paul, is From Rome to Jerusalem by College Press. The name of the guy escapes me, but this is just good. The First Christians, Pentecost, the Spread of Christianity by Paul Maier. This is done by Harper and Row. So God bless. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.